So here's where all this begins. When the records come in, they typically don't look like what they did over there when I was showing at the scanner. So let me show you some of the tools you're going to have. Piece of metal, not much different than what you see at the store today, but this is a staple puller. What you see Cynthia here doing is putting these barcodes in these pages in between wherever there's a new document. What that's going to do then is tell the software where to see a new document and start so we can index that later. So we're going to prep, scan, index. Prepping, scanning, and indexing in one step is not as efficient or productive as doing it this way. What you'll see is every time we take a piece of paper and touch it, we've got to make sure that every staple is out, paper clip, acro fastener, because with that out, we'll be able to get faster speeds. If any of that is ever left in, you can do damage to your scanners. It slows down the scanning operator. There's no sense in getting a high dollar scanner if that's what you're going to do, because you're going to be doing such slow productivity, you can get a lot lesser expensive one. But the prepping part is probably the most important. You're also going to notice too, there's a board over here. What this board does is helps us get a common left-hand corner. Once she gets enough of those up in there, you can slide them up in there. What that does is gets a nice tight corner, so when you put them into the scanner, they stay pretty much de-skewed. If documents go through and they keep twisting back and forth, what's going to end up happening is you'll have to run that through a post-process anyway, but it'll even be harder to de-skew it because all the documents are not as straight as if you just took a few extra seconds and put them in a board like this. We've got a measuring stick there. What that also helps do too is tells us how many pages we're prepping in an hour, because you're going to have to ask eventually, well, how long does this process take? How many boxes can we get done in a day or a week or a month? And it depends on the person you've got. Cynthia here is a good operator. It's just like everything else. We're trying to show measures so we can at least see how much we're doing in